Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And, excuse me. So today I want to talk about the cast for the new Avatar, The Last Airbender movie, which is, I guess, being titled Aang, The Last Airbender. Um, and what are my thoughts on the new cast? So, pretty much to no surprise from what the rumors have been going around is that pretty much everybody got recasted except for Dante Bosco, um, which again doesn't make sense since Zuki's voice actor is literally Asian. Um, which I've been saying, like, why is she getting recast then? But anyways, so everyone has been recasted. Well, they didn't announce who Zuki's voice actor is, but I don't know if she's in this movie though, so maybe that's why. But anyways, so this is the new cast. It really annoys me because like people are saying, well, Dante Bosco's voice is irreplaceable, and I'm like, dude, like literally everybody in the cast's voices are irreplaceable, not just Zuko's. Like Guitar's voice is irreplaceable. Jessica Flowers can literally still do the voice just fine, and she could probably do an adult interpretation of her kid voice if she wanted to. She said she was willing to come back. Um, so disappointed at the results here, man. So obviously with Aang's voice actor, I mean, obviously I was not surprised that he was getting recasted since the voice actor that did Aang is an adult and also is not really doing acting anymore. But we'll get into that into a second too, because I want to bring up another point that a lot of people are not bringing up. Katara's voice actor said that she was done playing guitar, so she moved on from it. So wasn't surprised that they recasted Jack. I don't know what he said. I don't think he ever did say anything about if he wanted to come back or not. Not that it matters. I think they were already in the plans to replace him, which is unfortunate because Jack's voice is so unique to Sokka because, I mean, that is his voice. You know, the comedy stuff, all that stuff that he put into that character is just from him as a person that just is really good at doing comedy stuff. So I don't know how you're going to be able to replace that. Obviously, Dante Bosco is just going to continue being Dante Bosco as Zuko, which is awesome. Um, but now let's get to Toph, because this is the one I mainly want to talk about right now. So for anybody who doesn't know, when they announced the Netflix project for Avatar, I had said that I believed that when season 2 or whenever Toph gets introduced to the Netflix series, assuming that this series at that point, because we didn't know, would be successful, um, you know, if it was successful and they got to season 2, my whole thing is that I felt that the live action actor should be casted as being a legally blind person. Um, I said it didn't matter to me what the necessarily if they were accurate on the ethnicity background. I just hoped that they got a blind actor to actually be it. And everyone was like, I remember people in the comment section was like, oh, it's not realistic because of there's certain direction that someone's gonna have to take. It just wouldn't work. And I said they will make it work if they are committed to doing it. And now I said that for the live action series. I didn't say that for the voice acting series of Avatar when it continued with Avatar Studios because I was under at that time the assumption that they were going to bring back the original cast. And Jessica Flowers could still do Toph. Like you could still hear that kiddish Toph voice. And since in the movie they're portraying the characters as adults, she could definitely play off of her kid voice and make her voice sound more as an adult. Um, Going forward. for the new Toph voice. However, unfortunately, we are in a reality where people just don't want to do things cool anymore. Well, at least for cartoons. For Japanese anime, it's okay because you know, all the characters or most of the characters in Japan anime is Asian, so they're like, oh well, we can mix it around, but we can't do it when it comes to American cartoons these days. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, that's what the dilemma we're in. Still hypocritical by Hollywood because it always is, but that's just how they do these things, unfortunately. Anyways, so Toph has been recasted to a legally blind actor, which I don't necessarily have an issue with this, actually. I don't, because the person who they casted as Toph actually was in the industry. For anybody who doesn't know, the Toph voice actor was Trixie in Fairly Odd Parents, and was a very good actor, especially with her limitations of being, legally blind and all that. So she was Trixie in Fairly Odd Parents. She also did some other parts. I think she was also Kimberly in the Rugrats as well. So she has done stuff in the industry. So this isn't just someone that they just hired randomly. But what I will say is this voice actor's been retired for 10 years. She's been retired from the industry for 10 years. So I find it very interesting that out of the blue, the studio just decided, we're going to get her, if she wants to come back and, do this role, rather than just, get Jessica Flowers to come back and be Toph, which would have made more sense. But that's what they did. I will say, if, I don't know what her vocal range is these days. I don't know how, it is an adult voice that she's going to be trying to portray, so it might not be as hard for her. But, the way Toph is, and the way Toph's character is, I really hope that she can balance some of the stuff Jessica Flowers did, which I don't know if she can, but that is something that I really would like to see. Because, Toph, Jessica Flowers made that character so unique. The whole Melon Lord thing and all that stuff, and I don't know her sounding like Trixie is gonna work, because Toph is not Trixie. Okay, Toph is not Trixie. Okay, Toph would hate somebody like Trixie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm worried about, though, because when I heard that, I'm like, Toph is not somebody who would want to be in the follow the rules and stuff like that, be popular. Toph doesn't like that shit. So that stuff's not gonna work on Toph. That's not Toph's character at all. This is a completely 360. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't heard her voice in anything that does a character that's rebellious as Toph like this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how good this is gonna work. This might not play out very well. But I will say this. The fact that Avatar Studios casted a legally blind voice actor to be Toph, at this point, if Netflix doesn't do it for the actual actor, then there's some problems going on. Because I said that a couple of years ago when they announced this project. I said that Toph needed to be casted with a blind actor for the Netflix series. So I do think that needs to happen now. If Nickelodeon is already going for someone that's legally blind for the voice actor, then they gotta do that for the actual castings of the Netflix series. That has to happen now. Okay? Like, or they're gonna be outdone. But anyways, also who also was casted on this, who is not actually listed on my screen right now, is Batista. And the reason why he's not listed here is Batista, we don't know who he's voicing. He is voicing the main villain of the character in this Avatar movie. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Batista is the wrestler. I'm a fan of wrestling, so I would know who Batista is. What do I think of Batista getting casted in this as the villain? Well, without actually knowing who the villain is, I can't really say, but I will say I do think Batista can voice a very good villain. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Combustion Man or something like. Maybe it's Combustion Man, because Combustion Man's muscular and shit like that, right? I don't know. Something like that. It's probably going to be some buffed guy. But I feel like, Batista, it's going to be some type of buff guy. It has to be a buff guy. Like it's got to be. Because who else would they get Batista in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even in some of the recent anime stuff that he did, like that anime movie, I mean, he was like that big, he was that, bird. He was the Bird King, like in the recent anime movie that came out, right? He was that big buffed up bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be some type of buffed up, like, villain. It's got to be a buffed up villain. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I knew when this came out, if any of this was true, that most of the cast was going to be recasted, and pretty much everyone was except for Dante Bosco. I knew there was going to be a big issue with the fandom, as there's a lot of the fandom has been very vocal on this when this came out, and they're not happy about it. Will this hurt the product? Like, will people go see the movie? I don't know. I don't know if it's going on in the movie or it's just going on Paramount. But Paramount actually is in trouble, so it might actually have to go to the movie theaters. But, yeah, I mean, it is a concern because if this movie doesn't do well, then they're going to have to pull a plug on it. And I don't want to see Avatar die because of it. But, yeah, I mean, the voicing is probably going to hurt a lot of the fans because a lot of the fans grew up with these voice actors, and then a lot of these newer fans that are watching it on Netflix probably have, gotten used to the voices that they've heard, and now all of a sudden it's going to be like, well, why did they change it? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know how the industry is these days, unfortunately. It's an unfortunate situation, guys. But wish them the best. I am really curious to see how Toph's voice is because Toph is one of my favorite characters in that series. So I am really wanting to see how the voice of Trixie is going to handle it, because there is no way her Trixie voice is going to fly with Toph. There's no way that voice works for that voice does not work for Toph. Like, I am sorry, that voice does not work for Toph. Toph does not sound like that. The way Jessica Flowers did that voice was more of a rebellious, outcast type voice, even though she was rich. She didn't want to be near the rich stuff or the wealthy and all that stuff. Toph was not like that, okay? There's no way that she is going to want to... There's no way I could buy her voice sounding like Trixie. There is no way. There is no way. No way. She is going to have to do a completely different voice. She is going to have to really... I hope she really studied Jessica Flowers and can do something that sounds like that. Like, or maybe not 100% like it, but something more into that direction, because that is Toph. That is what Toph needs to sound like. Okay, she needs to sound like that. She cannot sound like Trixie. Okay, that is not how Toph is. That is the opposite of what Toph would sound like. Okay, that is just all I gotta say about that. So that is what I gotta say about that. Like, she needs to sound different than Trixie. I cannot buy it if she sounds like Trixie. I'm telling you, I won't believe it. I can't buy it, because that's not what Toph sounds like. Okay, even when, the adult characters, like in the like when she was like the old granny or whatever, in Legends of Korra, she still had the rebellious voice. She would not sound like Trixie. She would never sound like that. So that's my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think. Where do you guys stand on the voice casting so far? Do you think there are a good chance that any other voice actors are coming back? They haven't announced anything about Zuki, which Zuki's original voice actor was Asian, so I don't know why she wouldn't be allowed to come back if we're going by that logic. Even though I don't agree with this at all, by the way, but unfortunately, this is the standard way the studios do these things now, unfortunately. Except for anime. Anime, they're okay with. Anime voice acting, it's okay to not have the authentic ethnicity as the character of a fictional cartoon character, by the way. But for American cartoon, it has to be that way, apparently, now. So, yeah, that's what I got, my thoughts on this. Do you think there's a possibility any other characters that we haven't talked about will be coming back as their voice? I'm not sure, but let me know what you guys think. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.